Okay, one second, let me stream it. That is also taking time. Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone for joining. So we have started the new topic yesterday, which is the Guru Tattva. We'll talk a little bit more about this Guru Tattva and try to understand that better before we move to the next Tattva, which will be Krishna Tattva. So that will start tomorrow. So there's many wonderful verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam which talks about the glories of the spiritual master, the importance of the spiritual master. So yesterday we discussed that why we need the Guru. So Bhagavatam says, Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeda Jigyasu Shreyottamam. If you want to inquire the mission, the purpose of life, then Guru can guide us. So Gurum Prapadyeda, go to the spiritual master, go to the Guru. And with the right Jigyasa, which is basically for spiritual enlightenment, not with any other mundane material desires. And then Krishna also talks, Krishna says that Acharya Mam Vijaniyat, that please consider your Guru, please treat the Guru as good as you treat me, you respect me. Krishna is saying that Guru should be treated as good as God. So it's like that. So we discuss all of that. Another important verse in this connection is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, very nice verse, which explains Naradeha Madhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Plabam Sugalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayalukule Nanabasvaveritam Mayanukule Nanabasvateritam Puman Bhavabdimna Taresa Atmaha. So very powerful verse which explains that Naradeha Madhyam, this Naradeha, this human form of life, this is Sudurlabham. It is very rare opportunity to get this human form of life. Though it is Sudurlabham, but very easily we have got this. Naradeha Madhyam Sulabham. It has become very sulabh. Easily we got it, though it is very rare to get that. Now we got, so what to do with this? So this human form of life has been compared to a plabam. Plabam means the boat. Plabam sukalpam Guru Karnadharam, the boat which can take you cross over this material existence, this bhav sagar, sansar sagar. So how do you cross over the ocean? Nobody can cross the ocean by swimming. The only hope is that we get into the boat. So now this human form of life is compared to the boat. We already got, though it is very rare, but easily got now. Now, so we got into this boat or ship. Now there has to be a captain in the ship who can take the ship in the right direction. We got the ship, but now you need the captain. So Guru Karnadharam, the spiritual master, is the captain of that ship. Otherwise, we might got into the ship, but if you don't know in which direction to go, then you'll be going round and round in the ocean itself and miss the opportunity to cross over the ocean of this material existence. So Guru Karnadharam, the Guru is like the captain of the ship. Maya Anukulena Anabasvateritam. And then there is a favorable wind. See, the ship is needed, then captain is needed, then you also you need the favorable wind. And that favorable wind is being described here as the instruction of the Supreme Lord, the scriptures, the guidance from the scriptures. So Guru, go and take the shelter of Guru, and then Guru will teach you the scriptures, the Shastra. Right? So these are all favorable things. You have the ship now, you already go to the boat, you have the ship now, you also have the favorable wind if you follow the scriptures. So now use this human form of life, Puman Bhavabdhim. Bhavabdhim means bhav, this material existence. So one should try to cross over this material existence having received this human form of life, which is very rare, but we are got very easily. It's like a boat, and then this boat has to be guided by the captain, the spiritual master, through the scriptures, which is like the favorable wind. Now, Puman Bhavabdim, this is imperative that in this human form of life we cross over this material existence. Nataret Satmaha, one who does not cross over, Nataret, Tarna, to cross over. One who does not cross over this material existence, this Bhavsagar, after having received this human form of life, that person has been compared here as Atmaha. Atma means the soul, and then Ha means to kill. That person is the killer of the soul. We are just killing ourselves if we are not utilizing this human form of life to cross over this material existence, to cross this Bhavasagar under the guidance of the Guru. Then we are just killer of the soul. We are just wasting this human form of life. We might say that, I'm doing this and I'm becoming big man and powerful man, whatever. At the end of the day, it will be all zero. So the purpose of this human form of life is, while doing all these worldly things, we have to parallelly plan how to cross over this material existence. And that can happen only when we get the captain of the ship. He will guide that where to go, how to go. Right? Otherwise, simply just eating, sleeping, mating, defending, ahar, nidra, bhamatun. These are all animalistic propensities. Everybody is doing, all the living entities are doing in this world. So there's nothing special about that. We might be doing in a very sophisticated way. Right? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. One time, there was this robber in the night. He somehow entered in the palace of the king. He was caught, this robber, and then he was presented next morning in the court. King was sitting there. King said that, how dare you enter into the palace? Why do you do this? So you're sentenced to death. He should be hanged. And this man, the thief, he was very confident and he very boldly in that the court, when the king was there and everybody was there. He says, if you want, you are the king, you are powerful. If you want, you can hang me, no problem. But you are also a thief. You are also a robber. Okay. So the king was taken aback. He says, what do you mean? I'm the king. Say, no, I go and, sneak into somebody's house in the night, do some small time robbery or something, theft. You're a big time robber. You very openly, in the daylight, you go and enter into others' territory and fight and conquer, and then you capture. What is the difference? I am a small time thief, you are a big time thief. We are all same. So king was taken aback. He was considerate, he was thoughtful, and then he left him. He says, yes, what you are saying. So why I'm bringing this story is, we all are doing the same thing. Somebody is a small thief, somebody is a big thief. Animals also doing, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They are doing in a very simple, animalistic way. We are doing in a very sophisticated way. We are rich people, we eat in the 5-star hotels, we live in a big palace, the millions and billions of dollar house and something like, we drive the big car, we might be running on the 4 wheels and some very sophisticated car, some Tesla or something, Lamborghini or something. The dog is running on the 4 legs, So activity is same. We are just doing in a little more sophisticated way. So if we don't utilize this human form of life under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master to cross over this material existence, Nataret Puman Bhavabdim, Nataret Atmaha, then we are the killer of the soul. So this is the importance of the Guru that we all need. It is not an option. It's compulsorily we had to take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, take the guidance, and then start leading the life as per the guidance of the spiritual master. So this is the importance of the spiritual master. Right. So once one become the disciple of the Guru, and then you start following, then what should be the mood? What should be the attitude of a disciple? So our scriptures guide that Brahmachari Guru Kule Vasandanto Guru Hitam Acharan Das Vannicho Guru Suhard Saharda. So this is recommended that a disciple, a Sishya, should get trained. So in the previous time, training was done in the very beginning of their life in the Gurukul, Brahmachari. the student life. They'll go, they stay in the ashram of the guru, and then they're trained. Brahmachari Guru Kule, Vasandanto Guru Ridham. Very humbly they live there in a very humble state. Either somebody is the son of the king or somebody is a poor background. Everybody is treated same, very, very simple and humble. And what they should do there? Guru Ridham. They should work for the benefit of the spiritual master. This is the duty of a disciple. Unlike, in this modern age, it has become a fashion, that makes someone as guru. Somebody is very famous person, oh, he is my guru, and then take pride in that. I am the disciple of such and such famous guru who has millions of followers. Unnecessary, just, puffed up and egoistic. Most of the people are like that, without understanding what is the purpose. It is not a fashion. It's not a decoration that you look beautiful after applying some cosmetic. Oh, now I accepted the guru, now I look little, nice and look good, and then socially accepted or something spiritually accepted. No, that's not the purpose. Purpose is something different. Tarit Satma, to cross over this material existence. So ask the right questions. Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Ask the Uttam question, not all these worldly things. And follow the instruction and live the life where, how to live, with what purpose? Guru Hidam, for the benefit of the Guru. How can I serve my Guru? What is his mission? What is his mode? How can I serve him? How can I become a helping hand, an instrument in the service of my Guru, in the service of my Guru's mission? That is the purpose of the disciple, not just a show bottle. I'm also initiated now. I also took the Diksha. Now my name is also so and so, Das or Dasi. And you feel like, something, and that I have achieved something. No, that is not the real achievement. Prabhupada says initiation is the beginning. The real journey begins then. Before that, we are not yet started that journey of commitment. So the time of initiation, Guru empowers us. And then we also commit to Guru that I am here in your service. And then Acharan Daswan Nicho. And what should be our Acharan? Daswat. Always we should just maintain that mood of Das, that I am the servant. Humble servant. Nichvat. Very humbly. So then I am the servant. I am here to do the seva. Tell me what seva I can do. How can I do the seva? So it is important that we read all this, we discuss and we understand and kind of register into our consciousness. Otherwise, even the spiritual places can become the place of so-called socializing in a different way. You see how when people outside world, when they go some get-togethers, some parties, some dinners or some lunches or whatever, some gathering happens, everybody is just in show off. Everybody wants to just talk about themselves. Then, no, I'm doing this, I got this, and on this much I spent, and I went to this trip, I watched that movie, all those kind of things. It's all about me, 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 me. And we are not careful, same thing can happen in the spiritual circles also. If you don't remember that I am here for a different purpose. Purpose is to inquire, ask the right questions. Question that how to cross over this material existence, how to come out from this bondage, how to come out from the suffering, unnecessary suffering. And I'm here to serve my Guru's mission, Guru or Hitam. And just to serve the Guru, one has to become humble, submissive. So that is the Acharan. So we are talking about the Guru Tattva and everything about in connection with Guru. And when we start doing that sincere seva to the spiritual master, and when we start treating Guru as the life and soul, whatever Guru says, Yasha Deve Parabhaktir Yatha Deva Tatha Guru, like we respect the Dev. Dev means the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan, Shri Krishna. In the same way, we should respect the Guru. If Guru says something, that is my life and soul. Like you see, we have the best example, Srila Prabhupada. When he met his Guru, spiritual master, Prabhupada was very young. At that time, he was 26-year-old in 1922. And when he met Guru, his Guru told him that you are young, educated, English-speaking, young man. Why are you wasting your life? You should go and share this wisdom to the whole world, especially in the West. People need it. Without this, they cannot be happy. So you should go and spread this message. Prabhupada, at that age, he says, I just took that one instruction, one meeting, one instruction as my life and soul. So this is how one should serve the spiritual master, his instructions. right? And by serving the spiritual master, what are the benefits? There's many benefits has been explained, that one can very easily cross over all the obstacles, all the challenges. If we make the instruction of the spiritual master as our anchor, we can very easily cross over the influence of the three modes, all other obstacles, mental problem, mental challenges. One should develop that faith. Make those instructions, the words of the spiritual master as your anchor. If Guru says this, let me just do this. And if we don't do that, then this verse says, Yashya Sakshat Bhagavati Jnana Deepa Prade Guru Mritya Saddhi Shrutam Tasya Sarvam Kunjar Sachuvat. So somebody says, no, I'm going to Guru, and then I read the scriptures and I do this, so many things. I go to the temple regularly, I read the scriptures and everything. But if we fail to accept the Guru's instruction as our life and soul, and still maintain a lot of material desires and so many other ideas and the thoughts and all of that, then all what our reading, doing, all this, that so-called spiritual activities is like Kunjar Sachuvat. It has been compared to the bathing of an elephant. This is a nice example, has been used in the Bhagavatam in multiple contexts. So this is one of the context, that Kunjar Swachvat means the elephant who takes bath in the water pond. The moment he comes out, he just take the dust and throw in the air, and then again he gets smeared with the same dust. So there's no use of that kind of a bath. Again you become dirty. So we go to the temple, we listen some lectures, and when we read Bhagavad Gita, we read this book, that book, but not accepting Guru's instruction as our life and soul, not very sincerely trying to follow and make our life center around those instructions, then it is Kunjara Sachuvat. So like that, it is very important that we accept Guru's instructions like that. And then finally, it is said that what is the duty of the spiritual master, the disciple? It is said that one should see, it is not possible for one to repay the debt of the spiritual master. Not possible. What you have received from Guru, the spiritual knowledge, the guidance, the path which can take us, out of this material bondage, then there's no pay, there's no price which can be paid back. Then what to do? We are indebted to the Guru for eternally. We are indebted. Janme Janme Prabhu Sahi. So then it has been recommended here. Sandipni Muni is telling to Krishna and Sudama in the Gurukul. What he is teaching? This indeed is the duty of all true disciples. What is the duty? To repay the debt to their spiritual master by offering him. So we should try to offer whatever we have to the spiritual master for his seva, for his mission. But still it is not possible. So one should offer with pure heart their wealth, but it is not possible to repay back. Then one should offer their very lives. Just offer everything, including our own life. My life is for my Guru. So this is the kind of connection, this is the kind of understanding, unlike what we see, all the superficial ideas and show model. That I have this Guru, that Guru, I'm going here, and I don't like this Guru, I'm going to another Guru, and all this joke they are made out of that. So here in this Guru Tattva, we are understanding the qualification of a Guru, who is a bona fide Guru, who is right fit to be accepted as the Guru. And then when we go to the Guru, what should be our mood, what should be our ask, what should be our desires, how we should serve. We should serve the Guru's mission, for the Guru's benefit we should work, and in a very humble and submissive way. By doing that, we can very easily cross over all the obstacles, spiritual obstacles especially, and then we can attain the perfection by serving the spiritual master. And by doing something for the Guru's seva, that is the way to repay the debt of the spiritual master. So we should offer to whatever extent we can. It's a journey. We begin with something, offering something. It can be just, our possessions or hard-earned money. We give the service, prana, artha, diya, vaja. But ultimately, we should come to the level where my life is dedicated for the mission of my Guru. So this is the kind of, very deep connection and the bonding, a very spiritual bonding one should try to develop and build with one's own spiritual master is bona fide coming in the Guru Sishya Parampara. So these are some of the thoughts and some of the verses we discussed about the Guru Tattva. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about the Krishna Tattva. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you everyone for your participation today. Hare Krishna, thank you. Keep chanting.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.